We are Top Rope Tokes. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. We had some AEW Dynamite. This is just saying, that guy over there.
I'm Ranger Motions, baby.
Pinky's up? Is that what we're doing tonight?
Yeah, pinky's up tonight.
Okay. I'm not going to take a drink, but...
Yeah. I'm going to say, you got to be fancy with your drinks if you're going to drink something.
Yeah, so if you're...
lid on my water bottle, so I'm not about to be having a pinky up when I drink out of that.
Why are you all of a sudden more quiet, it feels like?
Because I don't want to be loud.
I got you. Don't worry about it. On my side. Since I have a little bit more control anyway.
No. Yeah. And say, no, yeah, I'm talking pretty normal, I'd say.
That's more in line with what I used to see always for the line on the stream on the audio mixer. Anyways. Now I gotta turn off that setting part on Discord. Whoops. Alright, so I'm gonna have to remember there's gonna be a cut in there around 6 minutes in. But anyways, we are Top Rope Tokes. If you are watching this on YouTube, do us a favor down below. Like button. You know, it looks kind of like this. Subscribe. Drop a comment if you want to. But more importantly, if you want to join any wrestling discussions with us, there's a Discord link. Come on in. Join us. Have some fun.
Have some fun with like I had with this Dynamite tonight.
I will say I do love my line that I put for the Discord, or it might be on the YouTube somewhere. It was like, we like wrestling, you like wrestling, let's talk wrestling.
Straight to the point. Everybody likes wrestling, let's talk about it.
You said fun with Dynamite, and I feel like the way that we kicked off very much, they're usually really good about kicking you off in something that builds up some energy, and lately it's been a whole lot of Jefferson Starship Jane.
Yep. So of course, as he is now our Dynamite opener guy, Orange Cassidy in the first match versus Jay Lethal.
A match you wanted.
A match that I did want. As I said, I didn't think about it before, but I said, wow, when I saw those two in the ring together in that 3-on-3 match, it's like, I would really like to see just these two without the other nonsense, because the rest was nonsense. But I think they didn't disappoint here.
I had fun with it. I didn't take a whole lot of notes up until a very specific point in the match with the ramp and a 7-foot something guy coming out. So if you had anything before that, that's where my notes start.
I don't have anything. Yeah, that's pretty much where we start off the notes. So I don't have anything specific. I did think that I was surprised that these guys weren't moving faster than what they were in this match. Usually, because those two usually seem like they're slowing their movement down so that whoever they're facing can keep up. So I was like, man, this is going to be quick. And it was a little slower than I thought, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it.
See, I think a good thing is like Lethal has quickness to him. But he's not necessarily a fast wrestler, if that makes sense. So like he hits his quick moves and that's like his finisher, his agile. So like he has those spots, but he's been like the figure 4, the elbow drop and all that for a long while. But he has the ability to have those quick moves and those quick steps to make stuff happen, which is maybe even better because it's like, it's not a surprise that Cassidy can keep up with him, because so often that's the story with him versus the really fast people. It's just showing that Orange Cassidy can keep up. Yeah. But that first note, Jay Lethal was reeling. He was crawling up the ramp.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy hits the first tope suicida of the night on Jay Lethal, and Jay Lethal was just like, I'm out. He crawled up the ramp, literally crawled.
Up to Big Daddy Singh, who was walking out onto the stage. kind of being like that big imposing figure at the top of the stage. I did not catch what he did to Orange Cassidy when he got up there. Was it just like a push?
He didn't do anything to Orange Cassidy, actually. He just kind of held out a hand at him. Yeah, like he didn't actually touch him or anything.
Because I know he was like rolling back down to the ring before the Best Friends came out.
Yeah, that was because Jay Lethal got back up and attacked him.
Got it. I was like, I don't know if he kicked him while he was down, like when he finally got to him or something. I'm like, weird. Just because he had the next scene.
Satnam just gave Jay Lethal enough time to get there, or to recover, to decide that he's done crawling and actually wants to fight.
Because as this was happening, my focus was on the angle we kind of talked about during the show, in which they were kind of recording this, because you could see the face tunnel and you could see them getting ready before they ever come out. They didn't just do the on top of each other's shoulders thing to be as tall as Sting. They threw on the whole trench coat and everything.
Oh, best friends.
Tie-dye still stuck out though.
Yeah, because you could see them getting ready in the back. I feel like either it was a botched moment, like it was supposed to happen sooner, or just bad camera angle choice there.
Literally, if they just shot facing the other tunnel, just reverse where they were on the ramp and angled it the other way, you would have never seen them come out until they were actually ready and everything. But I don't know.
I thought it was pretty fucking cool though.
I was cracking up. I couldn't believe. I was like, wow, trench coat, everything. But we get to the end relatively quick after. A lot of this story was Orange Cassidy could not hit any of his DDTs early on.
Yep.
Kind of caught a couple of them later, and it looked like it might have been turning the corner. But in the end,
Jay Lethal had put him in a figure 4 at one point during the match. And so they really played up that Orange Cassidy couldn't put any weight on that knee. So he went for, how many was it, 3 or 4 orange punches, and Lethal either counters or dodges them all, partially because Orange Cassidy couldn't put weight on his knee, partially just because he's Jay Lethal and he's dope.
But I mean, it played into the end too, because he eventually did get his DDT, started to get on a roll, but then right when you think he's building up that momentum, Lethal hit a really quick, well-placed super kick to the side of the knee. Boom, lethal injection, and the win. Which, by your surprise when we were watching it live, seemed like it got you a little bit surprised.
Yeah. It actually did surprise me a little bit, but then I thought about it afterwards, and I was like, we're building up this TNT championship, which I guess it's no surprise to anyone that Jay Lethal decided he was going to put Orange Cassidy in the figure 4 again after the bell. Sanjay Dutt comes down, interviews him, gives him a little interview. What do you think about Wardlow? Jay Lethal says Wardlow needs to come on out because I'm going to break Orange Cassidy's leg.
Mm-hmm. And the weird thing is Wardlow wasn't the first person to come out.
Yeah.
Best friends
beat him to the punch.
We were sprinting out. Then they were already down to the ring, and then Wardlow's music hits and he kind of does his like fast-paced walk. He doesn't even like run or anything.
Wardlow's not supposed to run.
Yeah. So then
make him look less tough.
Dutt basically says, "Wait, you want to do this now? Like, he just had this match 15 minutes against Orange Cassidy. No, challenges him to a match at Bell to Bell. Wardlow, because he's from Ohio, does the whole Wardlow's world thing, but anytime, anywhere, doesn't matter. He's whooping that ass. So that match just got added to Battle of the Belts 3, which I really... We're so close, but so far.
Yeah, if they could move Grand Rapids an hour closer, we'd be fine. Just move Grand Rapids an hour closer to us. Literally move an entire city.
Because I'm sitting there thinking, like, if we left everything as perfect as possible, we're still walking in after Battle of the Belts has already started.
Like,
or at least me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, we'd probably be. It's a 2.5 hour drive ish.
Yeah, and so if I left perfectly at 6, it'd be about halfway through the show, because as much as I can make up a little bit of time by speeding, not admitting to anything.
He doesn't speed.
I am a perfect driver.
If there's any cops watching, he does not speed.
It's not like I have multiple cop neighbors around me immediately. But whatever time we could be made up, you still have to park, you still have to get into the venue, all that other stuff. So yeah, there's no way I'd see but maybe like the last 15 minutes of the show, if I'm lucky. Half hour, 15 minutes.
Yeah. Only we'd catch a dope rampage, but we're gonna miss the Battle of the Belts part.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even want it.
Just real quick, before the next segment, there was a little video recap of last week for Ricky Starks. It was after his first match, just a little recap showing of he was ready for another challenge. Hook comes out, Hook wins the FTW title for him. Little recap for it.
I was gonna say it was more of a Hook recap than a Ricky Starks recap.
Yeah. Well, they just started with the Ricky Starks, like, and the end of his first match last week, his promo, and then, yeah. Obviously, very, very two different parts there. Nothing really to add from it or anything. There is a point later in the night that there is something quickly mentioned, but we'll get to that when we get to it, because that's when Hobbs shows up later.
Yeah. So, yeah, we ain't worried about that right now.
Right now, it was all about the...
I say, well, we're gonna let my guy on here.
It's all about the boom, baby. That might have been quiet, but I'm sure he'll still get picked up.
Adam Cole is back, baby.
The Undisputed Elite returns, and I kind of speculated during the first match, like, with the trios titles announced, all that good stuff going on, I wonder if they're going to jump right into, like, trying to make Adam Cole choose a tag team. I was so very, very wrong. Adam Cole already picked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he by the way, he got a huge pop, as he should have, for his return. But he said he had time to think while he was off. So obviously he knew what he was about to do as soon as he came back here.
He did note that he was still not medically cleared.
Yeah, he's still not medically cleared. I kind of think it might be kayfabe now.
Yeah, because he
probably fine, because he did do a couple things, nothing crazy, but
yeah, like they stopped him even before he jumped off the top rope. So it's like, who knows?
I'm sure they're good to go.
I do think he started preaching loyalty, and even though he was kind of like hammering home the same point, he does it well. I mean, I'm not saying it was amazing, but it wasn't boring or cliche or seemingly repetitive. It was done in an effective way.
Yeah, he said he came to AEW because of the Young Bucks. He's traveled the world with Red Dragon. Loyalty is everything. These are his best friends.
Which brings him to the Trios Championships. And this is where I thought it might have, been where they make him choose. But instead, this is where injuries come back up again.
Yeah, he mentions that him and Kyle O'Reilly are both still not medically cleared.
And they won't partner with Bobby Fish. he outright says they will choose not to partner with Bobby Fish after. That doesn't sound good for chemistry and cohesiveness, does it?
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, he says that the Bucks, no, well, see, he told the Young Bucks that they can't compete without Bobby Fish. That's what it was. He said that they can't compete without him. And they're just kind of like, who the fuck made you our boss?
And then he goes, no, you don't understand. You physically can't compete. And then they turn on him.
Yeah, this turn happened instantly, and I didn't think it was going to happen right there. I thought we were going to get like one episode of Undisputed Elite back. We're all bros.
Oh, that match that I was telling you about where I thought Hangman checked on the Bucks, I had it backwards. At Blood and Guts, at Forbidden Door, when Adam Cole and Hangman were in the same Fatal 4-Way match. The Bucks came out after the match and they checked on Hangman first before Adam. That's what it was.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that now. I do remember that.
And there was a hit in a Blood and Guts promo, but everything's been very subtle. There hasn't been anything completely obvious building to it. It's been very subtle up until last week with the birthday.
Yep. But hey, Red Dragon and Adam Cole turned on the Young Bucks, start beating the heck out of them.
And they had a chair around Matt Jackson's neck. Adam Cole was on the top rope. And speaking of,
said it because I never know which one is which because they look like fucking twins, even though you swear they look different, but no, they don't.
So the best way I can put it is Matt is a little bit shorter and a little bit broader shouldered. Nick's a little bit leaner and taller. So
when they're both on the ground, you can't tell which one is which.
If one of them has a hat on, it's probably Nick, because if he takes his hat off, he is balding. His hair is much thinner. He usually is the one who has like streaks and stuff in it too.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's the only way I can tell is Nick usually has streaks.
Yep. Remember, as best as you can, Matt is the Matt Hardy of the group. Nick is the Jeff Hardy.
It's pretty good.
The one that's going to fly around a lot more is going to be Nick. But that, speaking of Hangman, comes running out with the lead pipe, kind of chases everything off. And do you want to comment?
Butterfly jeans. And he's also definitely got glitter on his face.
And those jeans were tore the fuck up too, but that at least fits with like some of the cowboy aesthetic, at least in some kind of way. But there's a little bit that
he's a Texan cowboy.
Virginia.
Oh, he had on his Texan cowboy outfit today because you know them Texas boys. You know what they say about them. But I don't want to get into that. So we don't get kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah. There's an awkward pause after he does chase him off. Like, then they kind of turn and all look at each other but keep their distance. Nothing really happens before Hangman eventually does go and extend the hand out to Matt, who's still sitting on the mat, and helps him up. And commentary questions if they're reuniting, but Hangman takes off and they're like, maybe not so fast.
Yeah, we gotta have some kind. There's got to be one more promo before they're just like buddy again. So get ready for that next promo when the Hung Bucks come back.
Oh yeah, that's when they mentioned it, and I wasn't sure if you had ever heard that name before. So when they said it, I was like, wait, does David know that name yet? And how did he take it?
I didn't take it.
Speaking of not taking things, I can't take any more of the Rambling Mox promos backstage.
Yeah, I wasn't. This was another Jon Moxley promo. He doesn't care who he faces, whether it be Yuta or Jericho, his friend, whatever. If you're in the ring with him, he's ready to fight you. He's going to hurt whoever his opponent is. And that's why he's the best.
The only thing I caught,
the Blackpool Combat Club will make the Heart Dungeon look like a daycare. So whoever he faces better be ready.
The only thing I caught in the beginning, kind of how they referenced them before, he said the last of the Heart Dungeon versus, did he say the first like student of the BCC? But there was some kind of like mirror effect that they did with that, like the last of that versus the start of the BCC. But yeah, it doesn't matter who's across from him. We talked about it. It feels like he just tries to punctuate himself and just kind of fails to ever one up himself, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Okay.
We go from promo to promo. We got Christian backstage. Well, this one wasn't really a promo.
It was the start of one, but
backstage with Tony Schiavone.
Hold on. To specify, parking garage.
Yeah, in the parking garage with Tony Schiavone. Interview starts. It doesn't go very far because Jungle Boy comes speeding up his Beamer and tries to run over Christian. Just all crazy.
Mm-hmm. As soon
Christian starts yelling, arrest him, sounding like a real old white guy.
But then Jungle Boy gets out of the car, is immediately swarmed by staff members and literally dragged like out of the building. They just threw him over their shoulders basically, and walked his ass out. Usually security teams don't win against wrestlers, so it was kind of different to see.
So that was the security team. They were much bigger guys than Jungle Boy. That, and he's not Wardlow.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, it's hard because we see a lot of these guys recently against Wardlow. Yeah, they look small against him, but Jungle Boy, not as bad.
yeah, they were bigger than Jungle Boy, so they just carried him away while Christian was yelling, arrest him. Even though he kind of looks like a cop to me. Like, I just can't get over it.
Who?
Christian. He looks like a cop. I don't know what it is, but he just looks like a cop. Like, I feel like he's given me a ticket before.
Yeah. Well, on to things that were actually nice tonight, and I'm not saying that was bad, but a thing to enjoy. Although we'll get to the end when we get to the end, but we got Britt Baker.
DMD, baby.
I wasn't sure in front of the camera the way that it inverts things and then doing it backwards anyway. I was like, I have no idea which direction to go.
Which way you going? DMD and Jamie Hayter versus Thunderstorm.
So the first notes that I took for this, as much as they tried to show maybe Jamie Hayter and Britt wouldn't work out for the beginning stages of this, they now have completely matching gear, eyeshadow, etc.
Yeah, tag teaming it up.
And then Thunder Rosa had a sandbagging since 2014 shirt on that she was wearing proudly.
Which we both talked about it. I think they're setting up Thunder Rosa to become a heel, because I really think Britt Baker needs to turn face, because people just love her way too much.
So I had said a different circumstance, but now thinking about it a little bit differently, what if Tony beats Rosa eventually, and that triggers Rosa and Jamie to turn on Britt and Tony. So you kind of flop both of those aspects.
I think that might be what we're going for, because they're definitely doing some long-term storytelling here with the Thunderstorm tag team. Like, obviously, eventually it's going to end in Tony Storm getting the belt off of Thunder Rosa and Thunder Rosa going heel somehow. Or at least that's my opinion.
Yeah. The meat of this match, excellent. Very little notes were taken. Just enjoy the wrestling. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff that was really spectacular. It was just a good match to enjoy.
Yeah, I love Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa in the ring together. They just have that great what did you say? They have that great in-ring chemistry. Like, just whenever those two are in the ring together, it's great.
I mean, the star power is always on a 10 when Britt's in the ring, and just if she's not there, like, the best that anyone else brings is like a 6. So
yeah, pretty much. But hey, this might have been the best match of the night. Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker have some really good tag team moves. Like he said, I didn't take a ton of notes on this one. I kind of sat back and enjoyed this one more. But, of course, we have Rebel at ringside, so she does her antics of trying to distract the referee or getting a hit in whenever she can. And that kind of keeps the momentum on the DMD and Haters team. They need a tag team name since Thunderstorm exists.
No, just break them up at All Out and let Britt become face. Don't bother.
Okay.
Actually, I have no idea how that would necessarily happen at All Out, because who knows where this is. Like, it's Britt. She's one of the biggest stars in the company. She has to be on the show, but where? I don't know. But at some point during this match, there's a point where Tony gets to go ring post to ring post doing her rear view. I don't remember her actual name of it. That's called.
They just call it hip attack.
Hip attack. That's what it was. Rear view is what somebody else calls a attack with that part of the anatomy.
Attack with that part of the anatomy. Okay.
Just trying to be a nice way of saying, like, I'm throwing my ass in your face. But eventually Britt is able to pull Thunder Rosa in from, like, the ringside area into the way of the hip attack, which allows Jamie Hayter to hit a ripcord lariat and get the win.
Yeah. I was hoping that the finish was going to be a little bit bigger, but I still think this was the match of the night.
There's one match I think maybe can compete with it, although I think Orange Cassidy and Jay Lethal was also good. That dumpster match was fun.
That was a fun match.
I mean, maybe not from a wrestling perspective as much as this match,
talk about it later,
but yeah.
Hey, we get to one of. So after this match, actually, let's mention that the DMD and Hater team did not beat up on Thunderstorm after the match, which was a surprise for me because it seems like that's the AEW thing of heels always have to beat up on the baby faces after the match. They did not. I was going to say, there was like one kick, I think, and that was about it, and they just walked away.
See, I was a little bit curious just because during the match there was actually cheating antics, but as we've been talking about how Britt is becoming less and less heel, so I was like, okay, no, there's still some cheating tactics going on in here. But well, speaking of full-blown heels,
yay, we get a video package.
Sammy and Tay are getting married in like France and they're not here, which is usually something I would celebrate hearing, but I still had to see them. So
yeah, we're gonna get a whole lot more of those too now, especially considering that the video was interrupted by Eddie Kingston, and he's basically just like, what the hell, how come I don't get any of these cute videos and spots like this?
He even made a joke of like, why don't I get those video packages where you show me watching a screen backstage at an awkward angle?
Yeah, he wants those awkward spots too.
He also wants Sammy at All Out. The contract's been delivered, it's been signed. He's waiting on Sammy for All Out.
Yeah.
Sign it, Sammy. Sign it. Sign it. He just kind of eggs him on like that at the end.
Sign it.
After, we were getting ready for the Powerhouse Hobbs in action matchup, but first, because of his recent actions, they had a little moment with Taz on commentary, which he announces officially, Team Taz is done. He wishes the best to all three members. They'll all be great, but Team Taz is done.
Who's the third member of Team Taz?
Hook.
Oh, I guess that should have been obvious, but yeah. All right. Yeah. So maybe that means they're going to just scrap that FTW championship.
That's what the hope was when they won it. I'm like, okay, it's back with family. Retire it. Just be done.
Yeah. Go ahead and retire it, man. Go ahead. It'll be fine. But hey, we had. I don't think this wasn't a match. I refuse to call it a match. Powerhouse Hobbs squashed Ren Jones. I only took his name down just to show him respect because he came out there to get squashed. This was a minute tops.
Yeah.
Hobbs hits a splash into the corner immediately, and he starts asking, "Where's Ricky? Where's Ricky?" to the crowd. He gets Jones up on his shoulder for whatever move he was about to do, and I hear him go, "Absolute, huh?"
Yep. They said he did like a leaping Oklahoma slam, like power slam to bring him down to the mat. Then he does something like he grabs him and he holds him like Red Jones up against his body, like towards the camera. And what's he say at that point? Watch this, Ricky, or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. Watch this, Ricky, or
yeah, it wasn't like a full ripcord lariat. He just pushes him off of his body enough to hit a very awkward looking lariat.
But yeah, eventually not Starks. Well, there is eventually Starks, but but yeah, very quickly, Hobbs gets the 1 foot on his chest pin win. You know, the typical squash match.
He knelt on him. It was a knee, but yeah, it was just one knee on top of him.
Oh, okay, yeah, because he does the knee thing. Okay.
Yeah, his little knee pose. Yep.
Yeah. But of course, this whole match was just there for Ricky Starks to get pissed off. Because after the match, Ricky Starks comes sprinting out. I don't think I've ever seen anyone sprint to the ring that fast before.
Even Jeff Hardy, when he debuted with his brother being attacked, did this Jeff Hardy dance on the way to the ring.
And say, yeah, Jeff danced his ass off. He was not worried about that.
He was like, sprint 10 steps, dance for like 5 more steps, sprint 10 more feet, dance some more.
He's like, yeah, my brother's down there getting beat up by 10 dudes, but whatever.
But at one point, like the ref tries to get in the middle of it and he tries to like shove Starks away, like to get in the middle, and Starks ends up pushing the ref, goes to jump at Hobbs, and Hobbs just catches him into that massive spine buster.
Yeah, He's like, yeah, down, little boy.
Hobbs, after it just rolls out after, didn't continue to beat him up or anything, rolls out after, they kind of stare at each other and he walks up the ramp.
Yeah. Hobbs versus Starks it all out. Oh man, my voice just cracked there. But yeah, we're gonna get Hobbs versus Starks it all out. We're already calling that.
Just I need to figure out how the next thing is gonna go, because that's something I'm not sure how much I'm looking forward to over the next month, because next we had a Miro video package, which I usually love.
I usually enjoy them, but this might have been the low point of the show for me.
It was like two lines felt like Miro. Yeah, it was like two lines by Miro that felt like it was by Miro. Then after that, it felt like he went into House of Black type words and language, and it kind of just felt like it went in circles. It says something along the lines of, even people with masks, they all eventually revealed themselves, and so will the Redeemer. We're gonna figure out what his plan is gonna be, and hopefully it's soon, so we can get back to either normal him or to a story that I don't care about at all.
After the subpar Miro promo, we got a Darby Allen, not Darby Allen promo.
Where was D'Artagnan tonight?
Good old Darby. But yeah, we got Darby Allen. I didn't take a ton of notes on his promo because it wasn't anything too special. The main point of this promo is that he's getting a hand tattoo, or he's tattooing his own hand during the entire promo. He says that his hand is the last thing that Brody is going to see before he shuts the coffin on him.
Yeah. So
I didn't catch what was on his hand exactly. I know it said Brody King and then something about a coffin.
That's about all that I caught from it as well. But the very beginning of this promo, from the context, I'm assuming he was saying that he actually went to Tony and said, this guy's got to have a job, because after that he talks about how Brody says Brody doesn't need Darby, doesn't need his respect, doesn't need anything from him, and Darby's like, no, you need everything from me, I got you the job. And that's why he's trying to get, make his name off of Darby. So that was really it. And then they start hyping up the coffin match, another big match coming up next week. It should be fun. I mean, the main event next week.
Is it going to be main?
Well, I don't know what the main event's going to be, but we're also getting Jericho versus Mox.
No, yeah, it's going to be Mox Jericho. There's no way that's not going to be the main event. Gotta be.
Yeah, because there's no other titles on the line, is there, as far as we're aware? Because the TNT was announced for Battle of the Belts, so that's not happening next week. Don't know anything about a women's.
The tag is on Rampage.
Was that a title match? I know it was a street fight, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a title match or not. It might have been a non-title match.
Because the one dude hasn't even had a match. I'm not even sure if Tony Nese has a single win other than beating Danhausen in 8 seconds or whatever it was.
Oh man, but speaking of tag teams,
two of the greatest tag team wrestlers.
Two great tag team wrestlers go one-on-one in their 40s, their late 40s.
Well, if one of them was 50 and we're actually just being really, really nice, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm saying if one of them's 50, then it's got to be Christian. So I know Matt's like late 40s.
Yeah, I think Matt, I was doing the math, I think they're both like mid late 40s, because Christian's like within a year of Edge, who's mid 40s.
Yeah.
But not a whole lot to talk about here until the very end, when Matt Hardy decides to put himself through a table.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt's beer belly's getting bigger. But he did come out pretty aggressive. He was throwing Christian around. You know, he gets the banging his head into the turnbuckles with the delete, delete, delete.
Oh, he was over. And Christian, you know, everyone hates him so much right now. Thankfully, they had the reaction because the match itself was kind of average.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, wasn't good. It was, no. But yeah, the biggest spots I had were Christian doing the diving headbutt off the top rope. I hadn't seen one of those in who knows how many years.
Commentary said the same thing pretty much.
Yeah. Matt Hardy set up a table at ringside.
Rolled Christian on top of that thing.
Christian onto it. He was determined to get Christian to go through a table, as Christian had Luchasaurus choke slam him through a table. So he was like, "You're going through a table this week."
He went to do a running elbow drop off the apron, but Christian moved out of the way, and that was pretty much disaster at that point for him.
Yeah, that was it. That was pretty much the end point for Matt. My highlight of this match is actually that dope sign that the guy had that says, "I played this match on No Mercy." And I was like, yeah, they were both in No Mercy. These two have been around that long.
First appearance for one of them, I think, might have been like 96, 97 for Hardy. And then Christian was probably like, I don't know if he was there in 97 yet, but 98 probably.
Okay.
But after the table spot, Christian rolls him into the ring, sets him up for the kill switch, but as opposed to dropping him right away, he has a big old like dastardly smirk on his face before he drops him and then gets the pin. Gets the win.
He's not done after the bell. He goes to he exits the ring. He goes and grabs 2 chairs from underneath the ring. He's obviously about to try and do what he did to Jungle Boy to Matt Hardy. He sets up Matt Hardy head on top of one chair. He's got the other chair ready, and then Luchasaurus music hits.
You want to know one reason you knew for sure that this was not going to happen?
It's Matt Hardy. We didn't want that to happen to Matt Hardy.
Well, Matt Hardy was also laying on his back. I don't think I've ever seen the one-man concerto unless they're laying on their belly with the face down.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't work.
But Luchasaurus comes out onto the stage, it's just a distraction. He walks, maybe halfway down the ramp?
Yep. Yeah, he walks pretty slowly. Walks about halfway down the ramp. And then Jungle Boy sneaks up behind Christian, wearing a "Christian is a Pussy" t-shirt. He swings a chair at Christian, misses the chair swing, and then Christian does another reverse Moxley exit.
Very much living up to what is written on Jungle Boy's t-shirt.
Yeah.
He took off running again.
I mean, to be fair, he was an old man and he just got done with a match. So he ain't ready to fight no Jungle Boy.
With a steel chair.
Yeah, Jungle Boy with the chair. He's gonna win.
So after this, there was 2 really, really quick things that I don't want to say they don't need to be talked about, but really there's nothing to them to really comment after.
I didn't put them in my notes.
Tony Schiavone was backstage with Daniel Garcia. He talks about how he made the American Dragon submit. It says when Daniel Bryan's back, he'll do it again. Then,
he calls himself the Dragon Slayer. He's doing the Jericho. He's taking on nicknames now.
He's a sports entertainer. He's gotta.
He said he was the best technical sports entertainer.
After that, there was another one of the pack recaps about defending the title around the globe. This one was a little different because they actually focused on the guy who has a box over his head that's been sitting at ringside following Pac around, which on Twitter and stuff everywhere, it's Kip Sabian, who was out with an injury for a while. We actually walked past him twice at Blood and Guts. Or sorry, we were within feet of him at Blood and Guts, walking around before the show. And then when we were in our seats, he actually walked like 10 feet in front of us on the ground floor.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was him at that time, though.
I didn't either. Because I do remember seeing him up close.
Mm-hmm. Doing circles trying to find merch stands and everything. I remember walking by him.
Yeah, I was like, why is this guy wearing this?
Mm-hmm.
They can't be comfortable.
Are you sure your low point of the night was earlier, or was no, because what came next, you at least got to see Stokely. Because I know you hate the other person involved.
Yeah. This was my first not completely hate it thing with Ethan Page. Because he reminded me of Raven back in the day. Because he's in the middle of the ring and he just starts screaming, why?
It confirming what we saw last time with that squash match, that they're just turning that all into a story, because on Twitter he had said, okay, you saw me once, you'll see me again in 5 weeks. He's just tired of not getting a chance.
But it was basically a what about me, what about Raven promo.
But in a weird way, in the middle they cut, and not in your normal kind of way, with no music or anything. Like, he's not even looking at the ramp, he doesn't even know it. They cut real quick to show Stokely walking down to the ring, and then you don't see anything for the longest time. I think they framed it where Ethan was blocking the turnbuckle that Stokely would have came in up those steps, because he gets to go kind of crazy for a while longer, and it's not until he kind of takes a sidestep or whatever you see Stokely's in the ring with him already.
Oh no, you could tell that Stokely was in the ring watching. You might have missed that. I get they kind of tried to keep it out of the camera, but they definitely showed that he was in the ring there.
Yeah.
Just kind of like,
because I know they
like this promo.
Very much did one of those things where it was kind of like this, like if the phone was Ethan Page, it's like they framed it behind him. So I'm like, okay. And then because he turns, he had no idea they was there yet.
I don't know how he didn't know, but he didn't know. Yeah,
because Stokely's smooth, he can slide in there unnoticed.
They showed him going in there, and they showed him in there.
Now
Page was on, he was too busy. What about Raven?
Now he did have a good turn in there, I will say this, because I already liked him, but I thought seeing it happen on TV, when he's going on his what about me, what about Raven kind of situation, he questions why the fans were cheering him.
Yeah, I like that too. It's like, whenever my shirt comes out, you're not gonna buy it.
Because usually as a heel, usually as a heel, it's usually they're just blaming the fans, saying like, you don't support me. This was a little bit different because the fans were starting to support him. He's like, no, fuck off. Like, you can cheer now, but where are you when it matters?
Yeah. Ethan Page wants people to buy his shirts.
Stokely has that quick little line where he just basically was like, what are you doing? And then whispers something in his ear.
Yeah, like Stokely, because Stokely's a businessman. He knows what's going on.
Are you sure it wasn't some more sweet nothings? Do we have to bring back ASMR Top Rope Tokes?
No, we're not ASMR Top Rope Tokes this week. No, he probably, it's probably just like, hey man, the people were starting to like you there, and you went hard on them. But it ends with Stokely, as it seems now to be his thing to give out his business card.
I don't have any business cards next to me.
Yeah, he hands Ethan Page that business card, stops out, he gets out of the ring and starts walking slowly up the ramp. And Ethan Page, after thinking about it for a quick second, he's like, "Yeah, I'm going with him."
Catches up to him.
They walk out. Yeah, he walks up to him and they exit together.
And it was one of those things, kind of very cinematic, where like Stokely's waiting but moving still, and he catches up to him. He sees Ethan Page catch up to him. They're like on even like line, and he just has that smile like, "Yo, I knew it." And they just walk off. Stokely is so much fun.
Yeah, I think that's all I needed to not hate Ethan Page. I think it was just how much I hate Dan Lambert. This is my first time being like, all right, Ethan Page, you could be kind of cool.
If you saw some of the stuff he does outside of it, I'm like, y'all could be best friends in real life. But yeah, that's different than this character on TV.
Oh boy.
Another,
we go from promo to promo, baby. We got Yas backstage with Tony Schiavone. Notably, this is Cool Hand Ang, Daddy Magic, and Anna JAS.
Did Daddy Magic even say a single word?
Oh yeah, he did.
I was trying to remember, because I know most of it was Cool Hand.
Yeah, the only line that I took down from this was that you know what makes Daddy Magic hard? Seeing Jericho become Le Champion 2 times.
Yep, because they said a week from tonight Jericho will be Le Champion again, and then we get into batshit crazy Anna J.
Yeah, hold on, Anna J starts talking crazy. Well, Cool Hand, he basically just reiterates what Daddy Magic said, but not funny. Yeah, Anna J starts going crazy. I'll choke everybody. Choke everyone. And then she actually starts choking a cameraman, though.
Yeah. And then both Daddy Magic and Cool Hand, they just get in the guy's face. Like this random staff worker backstage. Not even the guy that was holding the camera or anything. Just the other guy that was there, who was probably smaller than me. They get in his face as she chokes him out. And that was really it.
That was it. Hey, we go from dumpster promo to dumpster match. Gun Club versus the Acclaimed in the dumpster match,
with the most brilliant of strategy I've ever seen executed in like common sense and logic.
Incredible. I love the way that started out. Gun Club comes out, does their entrance with Daddy Ass. He stays at the top of the ring, or not top of the ring, but top of the ramp, top of the entrance ramp, which sets up Anthony Bowens to come running out with no music. He nails Billy Gunn with a trash can. The Ass Boys come and try and help Daddy out, but Bowens nails both of them with a trash can.
It was during right around this time is when he just yelled like "eat shit" during one of them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He just like chucks a trash can into one of the Gun Clubs, like directly into his face, and yells "eat shit." But then they take out the biggest threat because take out Billy Gunn, the one guy who towers over everyone.
You get a chance if you get rid of Billy Gunn. And then after everybody's ass has already been whooped, Max Caster takes the mic, because you gotta let him get his freestyle.
Hit my music.
Hit my music.
I took one note from his rap.
I'm gonna say there was a couple lines in there that I got. He said he's gonna make the Ass Boys retire like Vince McMahon did.
That was the one note I took, because Bowen's face was like, I don't know if he knew that line was coming, because he did shock face really, really well right then.
Yeah. And he was also more positive than Joe Biden's COVID test. He was really up on the current events today. And that was probably my hit of the night, by the way. Like, he took a shot at Vince McMahon and the Ass Boys in one line. Hit of the night. Oh yeah.
I'll just kind of leave it up, because fast forwarding, mine will be shortly thereafter, because it's going to be towards the end of this match. Because
it's got to be in this match.
We thought Max might have broke his arm or something at one point. It was very much
his arm moved.
It was very much what you could kind of expect from a no disqualification dumpster match. A lot of attempts to get the baby faces in there early, doesn't work out. Eventually, one thing of note, Austin Gunn did Road Dogg shake, rattle, roll during picture in picture.
Like when Austin and Bowens were on top of the dumpster, and he threw Bowens off onto the trash cans. He threw Bowens off of a dumpster onto trash cans. Dope. I loved it. But all right, yeah, we can get to the end now.
But Max ends up sneaking up. I don't know why Austin was on top of the tunnel. It makes no sense from everything else that was really going on in the match. Like, nothing was really...
He was going to jump off onto Caster.
Yeah, just nothing was really like super set up the way it ended up a minute later, because Max stands up with a big old smile, tosses Austin directly off into the dumpster, where you see packaged peanuts flying everywhere.
Yeah, and then he mic drops off of the tunnel onto Colton on a table, which looked nasty,
because it did not split in the middle, it split towards the edge and everything.
It looked like Caster was going to be hurt after that, like he was going to be needing a cast.
And honestly, I thought he was selling it at first that way too, but as he was down, Bowens grabs Colton, they throw him into the dumpster and they get the win, but then they start tying up the dumpster.
Yeah, they tie it closed, because they aren't done with them yet. After the win, they awkwardly have a lot of trouble trying to push this dumpster, but eventually they do push the dumpster off of the edge of the entrance area there, and
it flips over.
One of the guns, you mentioned it, I saw it. One of the guns, it looks like at least one of the guns might have had an ankle or foot trapped under the dumpster. Hopefully no injuries or anything like that.
Or at least, if anything, maybe it's just going to be like bruised or swollen and it's not anything long term.
Yeah, Bowens was the star of this match, though. Anthony Bowens is the shit.
He's definitely, in that tag team, he is the guy that you expect to wrestle. And Max is more so the personality, or at least the person who can talk a bunch, and Bowens compliments him as a personality.
Yeah. Speaking of talking, dude, we actually heard Konosuke Takeshita speak.
You can go over that real quick. There was something right before that, but it was nothing that it has to be right then. So go ahead, keep going with that, and I just want to cycle back to it.
Okay.
Because we had 3 announcements.
So Claudio Castagnoli is facing Takeshita at Battle of the Belts. So here's a little quick promo, and we actually hear Takeshita speaking. And his English is a whole lot better than I expected it to be. He said he's faced all the best in Japan, and he's been here for a little while now. It's time for him to get a big win, and this is going to be it. And Claudio doesn't say much that you don't expect. I'm gonna win because I'm Claudio goddamn Castagnoli. That was pretty much it for that promo there. Just trying to hype up a match that I am excited for.
Yep. So the thing that was in between there is 3 announcements I'll go over real quick. At Ric Flair's last match, there was a junkyard, I forgot what they actually called it, but Mance Warner outlasted everybody, so he's going to get a match against Mox on Rampage. Madison Rayne will debut on Rampage, a pioneer of the women's division or knockouts division over in Impact / TNA for all those years, and she's going to have a backstage role, veteran, all that stuff. And that this is where they announced Tony Nese and Josh Woods versus Swerve in Our Glory street fight. It was all back to back as they were promoting Rampage. So those are, one of those tells us a match, one of them tells us a significant kind of signing, and the last one tells us a tag team match, which Swerve in Our Glory has to win because the other dude's literally debuting.
Yeah. If they don't get the win, I'll be real pissed, because I'll be like, yo, they have to get the win so that this thing is over, because they need something bigger than Tony Nese and whoever that guy is that they just brought in.
Mm-hmm. Now, if it's not a tag team title match, you can imagine maybe they try to make him look like a monster, but against who? Like, it would have to be Swerve. It isn't going to be against Lee.
Not yet. Not for a while.
Then the main event.
The main event.
Jericho had Daddy Magic and Cool Hand at ringside. Kicked out right away. Yuta was right going to have nobody, but then Claudio comes out right away. Yeah. I literally don't have a single note on this match until the very end.
All right, well, I'll give you just the quick rundowns there. Yeah, Cool Hand got him and Daddy Magic kicked out. Aubrey caught him grabbing Yuta's boot, so she made them leave. Claudio shoos them away. The crowd singing na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also don't like when the commentators call slapfests palm strikes. Those were slaps. I don't care what you say. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Yuta got 3 tope suicidas. Notably, there was 4 in this show, and he did 3 of them.
Back to back to back.
Back to back to back. Yeah. But hey, that's what I've got here until the end, if you want to take it from here.
We got an actual lion tamer. An actual lion tamer. Not only did he do an actual lion tamer, he, like, during points of this match, tried to pull from the BCC style, because he did the hammer and anvil elbows, but I mean, he failed at them miserably. But yeah, as he was trying to turn
his broken nose.
Mm-hmm. One time, Yuta even looked at him. I swear, he looked like, "Are you seriously trying to do this to me?" And just like powered himself out of it. It was bad.
Yeah, he grabbed his nose, which is supposedly broken right now, and that was how he got out of it.
Well, before even that, he was just able to outright like block the arms coming down too. Like, it just wasn't even going through smoothly. But
that's not what it looked like. But all right.
Like yeah, he was not really laying down on him. He got the arms up. He did. Commentary said he tried to go for it multiple times, and just wasn't working for him. But as he turned him over in the lion tamer, pulling again from like a BCC kind of style thing, he started stomping on Yuta's head to make it easier to get him turned over, and then really lowered down onto that neck and cranked it back with that lion tamer. So excited. It was, as soon as he locked it in, I was so happy to see it.
I was like, wait, he's actually because he had tried the Walls of Jericho earlier, and I was like, wait, no, this looks like a lion tamer. Looks like a lion. Oh, it is a lion tamer. He's doing a lion tamer. Like, when's the last time anyone's seen Jericho do a lion tamer?
Yeah.
But of course, because Jericho busted out the lion tamer, he obviously got the win.
Yep.
They're like, if you bring back the lion tamer, you got to get the win.
But he also wouldn't let go of it until Mox's music hit.
Yeah, so he's awkwardly in the middle of the ring doing this lion tamer for like 2.5 minutes while Mox is making his way to the ring, because he can't just run out there like a normal person.
Yeah.
You gotta be all through the crowd and zigzags.
But nothing really happened. We just got more talking to end the show.
Yeah, Jericho grabbed the mic while he was running away. He told Mox that he woke up the beast. Said, you want the lion heart, you're going to get the lion heart. And he's going to stretch the shit out of Mox.
And he's going to walk out the champion. He guarantees it.
And then we get the classic stare down to end the show.
It felt like, as much as we've had shows that rushed off the air, this kind of felt like the opposite. Like there's a little too much time left.
I think that was... I want to see if there was any kind of cue or something, because it felt like it's like the Mox coming out so slow. It felt like they might have been like, hey, we got too much time left, so just do your John Moxley entrance instead of just running out there and saving him.
Yeah, because at the end of the show, they were running through like future match cards and stuff like that, how they usually do, and we're so used to Excalibur talking like he's an auctioneer during them, and it was like, nope, I actually had enough time. I could read every single graphic if I wanted to.
Yeah, it's looking like we are about to have a lot of big matches, a lot of big story stuff as we're starting to build up to All Out. And who's going to be at All Out?
I'm just worried because some of the matches that have already been, I don't want to say announced, or the ones that have been announced are clearly being built too. There's some of them I'm like, you couldn't give me a better match than that at All Out. I'm like, it's fucking All Out.
Hey, but you know who's going to be there though?
I'm gonna do this the Ethan Page way.